Leon Harris is passionate about improving the lives of children and supporting those who dedicate their lives to doing just that. Let's watch.
Leon is a person with a great heart, big heart. We see him on TV all the time. You might have certain impressions of what people are behind that camera, but really it's the actions of Leon that help you understand who he really is.
My children, they taught me to get over some things that were holding me back in my past. My core values, I would say, because of the experience and because of what I've gotten from those adults that were in my life and tapped me on my rudder from time to time to make me think about myself in different ways and take my brain in different directions. I think for me a core value is never being so impressed with yourself that you can't help somebody else. Helping other people is exactly what makes this is what makes any place worth living in, but in particular in a city like this, a region like this, that's what makes life here really worth living. There's people here who actually get what helping other people is all about.
He actually came to Largo High School for the first time to spend time with us, just on the heels of getting back from a trip to Africa. So that showed me the kind of person this was.
When I think of Leon, I think of a big smile. You walk in a room and he's just so sincere. He is who he is on the TV, the same way in a ballroom or in a small meeting. And so I've watched him in situations where the camera wasn't on him, and he's kneeling down helping kids and facilitating conversations with groups of youth in our facilities. And he's just a caring guy, and he is what he is, and he really deserves this.
I would tell you is that you gotta have stamina. Right now the trend is for everybody to do one thing for a short period of time and then go do something else. You find something that you can actually spend a lot of time being good at or working on and having fun, and that will lead you to success. That's what I wish for young people.
Please welcome to the stage Leon Harris.
You all have no idea what this means to me this week. Some of you may have seen the news about me getting fired this week. Yes, they announced they're not renewing my contract, so as of I've been unemployed now for about 36 hours. No joke. Wish I was joking. This just in. Yes, that's why no one was more surprised than me to find my wife offering to donate $1,000 just a second ago. Thank you, Dawn. Everyone please give Dawn here a round of applause for giving up $1,000 of my severance check.
She believes in you.
No, first, I'm going to make this quick. I had the distinct obligation, I wouldn't say pleasure, and responsibility every single night, spending the first 11 minutes at the top of every hour telling you why you don't want to live here, terrifying you, telling you the worst thing that happened where you live, right? But one thing that I have become convinced of is that the people that show up in the first 11 minutes of any newscast, most of them wouldn't be there if somebody had reached them by the time they were 14. Think about that. Think about that. And so that's why when I get a chance to support groups like Mentoring the Manhood, it's not something that I'm doing just because it's the right thing to do or it's a nice thing to do. It is something that to me is absolutely essential. It's absolutely essential. Rob mentioned that I did come out to go talk to hook up with you guys at the school. I mean, literally, I just got off a plane coming back from Africa. But I got to go on this trip to 5 different countries where George Bush had gone They were celebrating, this is back in 2003, I believe. They were celebrating all the countries that had done a lot of work in reversing the AIDS infection rates. And they sent me to Senegal. How many of you guys have heard about Gorée Island? Yeah, so you know. So they made me go there and I didn't want to go. Gorée Island is the last piece of land. So this speaker is the continent. It's right here. It's right about there. It's a little last piece of land right before you get to the New World. And they had the slave operation set up there. In fact, the Obamas were there about 5 years ago. And they made me go there, and I did not want to go because I didn't want to go there and get mad and get angry at the world and at white people and hate America and all that sort of stuff. But before I came to hook up with you and the boys at that high school, I went to that slave fort on Gorée Island, and the thing that struck me was there's a plaque on the outside of the door when you walk in that said that it was built in July of 1776.
Wow.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was like, you mean to tell me at the time when these folks over here were declaring their independence, they were supporting this institution that was guaranteeing I would never have mine? That blew my mind. And then I took the tour, and this little tour guide took me through all these different places, and I'm not going to go into it because it was stuff that was absolutely horrifying. Forget anything you heard about Guantanamo. Believe me, they knew what they were doing back then. He took me to this doorway that opened out onto the ocean, and that's where he said the ships were set up, and he said the men were told to go either to the ship or to the sharks. And as I stood there in the doorway, this little dude tapped me on the shoulder and he said, do you realize what it means for you to be in this doorway? And it really hit me. How many miracles had to happen for my DNA to be standing in that doorway? I stopped being mad at the fact that my father wasn't a man and didn't do what he was supposed to do by me. I wasn't mad at America anymore. I was mad at all the times I didn't do everything I could with every single opportunity I was given. The only reason why any of us are in this room right now is because some adult outside of our family told you that you were worth something. Right?
Right.
Somebody made you think you were worth something. You were worth investing in. You were worth believing in. That moment changed everything for me. So I took it upon myself to say, no matter what happens, I gotta make sure that there's going to be some more Cindys. There's going to be some more Keiths. There's going to be some more Angelas. There's going to be some more Garys. There's going to be some more Leons. And if I gotta do a little bit more to make that happen, then I'm going to do it. I want to thank all of you for coming out here tonight, but I want you to understand why you're here. You ain't here by no accident. Anybody died before you got here in your family, you wouldn't be here. Anybody in your family or your DNA chain decided to do something different with themselves, you would not be here. So when you look in the mirror, what you're looking at is you are looking at a collection of miracles. Everything that had to happen for you to be here today is not by an accident. Do not waste it. So we have got a responsibility to these boys. We've got a responsibility to these girls. We cannot waste any moment to make sure that every single one of them has a chance to be everything they can be. That's why we're here.